Did you just kind of put this win in perspective for us all? Like, what does it mean? What does it coming to?
It was huge. It was a huge team win. I know a lot of guys are from Southern California. It means a lot to me personally, but I know it means a lot to the whole team. You know, there's a lot of implications on this game of the two teams that set this out. But I mean, the job's not finished. It's 1 week, 1 game, so we're on to Sanford.
How could it feel to air it out to Ricky like that, and then him make that play on that?
It felt great. Coach Hill was up there dialing it up. You know, he's seen. We knew all week we had mismatches in kind of their empty check and unbalanced check. So I mean, we just took advantage of what they was giving us.
Hey, what do you think enabled you guys early on to kind of get into a flow?
I really just say just executing the game plan. We played a clean football game, I'll say. Limited the penalties offensively, and we just executed. You know, we was able to get penetration when it came to running the ball, and me and the receivers were on the same page when it came to airing it out. So I mean, we just played a clean football game.
The fact that you guys were able to get it going to the screen game and some shots, did that kind of put them into a bad way defensively, UCLA?
Yeah, like I said, we're just taking advantage of all their miscues that they try to do on defense. They're gonna try to pressure you, get you those ball downs. So really, the game plan was get the ball in my hand and full and match protect and take shots, and we did that.
Jaden, in the offseason, we talked a lot about what this offense was supposed to look like. Is tonight a good example of all of it kind of coming together?
I say we're on the right track. I wouldn't say we're completely there yet, but I say we're going the right direction.
What did you think of all the Sunday fans down there supporting the night?
It was great. You know, like I said, we especially coming back home, seeing all those fans that even travel or that lived out here come to support us, seeing us get a big win. It was just exciting. It felt great.
Can you talk about the explosive plays? We talked about how the explosive plays in the passing game hadn't been there to this point today. You hit the seven.
Yeah, like I said, Coach Hill did a great job of dialing up there. Just trusting what he sees, trusting in us, trusting in me, trusting the receivers to go out there and make plays. So at the end of the day, he called the play and it's on us to execute it. We did that.
What do you feel like of executing Herm's game plan? I know he's always talking to you guys all week about what your keys are. Do you feel like you got his goals?
I feel like we did a good job of doing that. All 3 phases, we could have played better. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a win, so we're going to take it and move on to the next.
One more question for Jaden.
Jaden, you said being from Southern California, this meant a lot to you. Did you have a lot of extra family and friends coming out today?
I did. I don't know how many came out, but, you know, being so close to here, it felt good coming back home and, you know, getting a win for them. Getting a win for my grandpa that passed yesterday was his birthday. So it just felt good coming back home and playing in front of my family and friends.
Thanks, Jaden. Thank you.
All right, what's up with your heads?
Oh man, you know, I know all of us in the running back room, we all got like a little sideline snack that we go to after like a big play or a big run. So like we just take pride in what we do. We try to be different as a room and as a collective. So we try to have fun with it as long as competing on the field.
So, Chick, this was your first game since the season opener. Did you feel like there's some rust to knock off, or did you get into the flow pretty fast?
Oh yeah, it was definitely some rest to knock off. Even in the flow of practice throughout the week, just getting back to the groove of things because we're running back. It's all about vision and patience and that kind of thing. So it was definitely good to get back out there. Once I got the first few plays under my belt, I was rolling.
So I think UCLA was actually all the stuff around. You guys put up a couple of good plays at this running game. What you guys maybe established so far this year?
I think it says that our offense is very dynamic in the pass game and the run game. Just to see how all of us offensive players are so dependable on each other, and like we really help out each other's game like more than we know it. So like when we look back on the film today, we'll really see it. And we messed up on some plays out there. I mean, the good thing is we didn't play down to their ability. We played ASU football, and that's what we'll take out of here.
One more question.
I saw you go over to Ricky a few times after he scored. What you make of his performance?
Oh man, his performance was amazing, man. That's my guy. We worked super hard in the off season, and I know the type of work he put in, and just the type of receiver he is. And it was his time to shine, and when it was his time, he stepped up and he made big plays. So proud of him.
All right, thanks. How did you shoot? Coordinator Antonio Pierce now up.
lot better.
It did look like you challenged your defense at times. What you make of their performance, especially what you guys were able to do in the second half?
Yeah, better. Obviously, second half with the points on the board, which is most important. Very difficult challenge. DTR, very special player here. But I give our guys credit. You know, their guys going down, next man up mentality. A lot of young guys stepped up and did a hell of a job and just kept fighting. Wasn't pretty at times, but when it mattered most, down in the red zone, probably one of our biggest stops over the last 18 or 20 months. You know, just proud of them. You know, they fought, they were cramping, they were tired. You know, 83 plays is a lot for defense. Those guys did a hell of a job.
Zach Hill's going to be available in the All Star.
As a freshman right here, made the play at the goal line, right?
Yeah.
What did you do?
That kind of goes to our philosophy, right? We give the freshmen the opportunity to play, they play. They make a play every time he goes in. It gets your nerves going because you don't know what he's going to do, but you know, he finds ways to the ball. He does a hell of a job with a lot of energy, always focused. One of the better student athletes we have on our team for our studying the game of football. But I think those are credit to all these guys. They just kept battling for 4 quarters.
What's to say about your depth? You were down so many guys. You had to. Team lead was out there. You mentioned, Eric Gentry. What does it say about your depth that you guys could go out there and play that way in the fourth?
Yeah, well, we had people question our depth in the first 4 games and ask why we're doing it. This is why.
Anything else?
Yeah, Coach, what does this win say? Obviously, big game coming in when you get this one. What does it say about your team?
4-1. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Darren Butler starting. Thanks for the time, Coach. All right, open up to questions for Darian Butler.
So Darian, another SoCal guy, what does this mean for you personally coming back here?
It's always good to come home and put on the show. You know, you probably got family and friends watching or coming out to the game. So, it's always a good feeling, you know, especially in Cali, you got good weather. Somebody else just, I lie to you. I already said on the show, I feel like I'm at home. I am at home, if you actually say I'm right.
Can you talk about the guts of the defense? You guys were on the field a lot. Just how you guys held tough there in the second half.
Well, bend don't break defense. Things gonna happen. It's football. Like, things that happen. Like offenses, especially with that offense, that's a really talented offense. You know, they're really good at what they do. They really well coached. I feel like came down to it. But I just think this defense, like, you know, doesn't matter what we put in front of us, we won't break. That's not what we're about. We want to get the job done. No matter who's up, try to get the job done.
What was the key to getting that stop on 4th and 2? They went for it down by the goal line. What was the key there?
That was just big for. We already knew exactly what they was gonna do. I feel like throughout the week we knew what they like to do in the red zone. The quarterback like to pull the ball a lot. We already knew that. So good job by the freshman stepping up. Eric Gentry, you know, he's a special kid. He stepped up all week and practice the same thing in practice.
Was it cramps? Is that what you had?
Anything else?
Just overall, what's the challenge of game planning for and then defending someone like DTR, so dynamic, such a dual threat?
We had a pretty good idea of what he liked to do. You know, that's a really good quarterback, but you know, we just started practice like 1-2. If this guy's not there, he's gonna take off running. We knew where he wanted to run. I mean, he did a good job tonight, you know, doing his thing, but eventually had to get stopped.
What was Herm telling you through the week? Did Herm give you the keys to keep your eyes open for this game?
Not really. Just play football.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ricky Pearsall and Coach is waiting, so a couple questions for Ricky.
One more.
Hey Ricky, what clicked after the first quarter with your offense? It's just 3 points in that first period and then an explosion in the second.
I mean, I just think it was just going out there and getting the nerves off and then the first quarter and just locking it back in. The leader stepped up and was vocal about it and told everybody to lock it in and we need to start picking up our offense and roll.
How about the explosive plays of the offense today? You've been waiting for that. Coach has been talking about explosive plays, and you had a couple.
I mean, we emphasize it every day in practice and in the game plan as well before the game. And we just went out there and did what we did in practice and performed and just executed the play.
You talked about what this offense does look like. Is this kind of going to put it all together? This is what we should expect?
Yeah, I mean, we're never satisfied as an offense. I mean, this is a glimpse of what we can do. We can do a whole lot more, but yeah, that's just a little sneak peek of what we can do.
How big a game is this for this offense, just to be able to go out and do what you guys did against a solid defense and to now move forward deeper into Pac-12 play?
Yeah, I think this was a really big game for us. It gave us a lot of confidence. I mean, going out there and seeing all the big plays happen for us, And a lot of guys were having fun. I think that was a big part of it. A lot of guys were having fun. A lot of players were playing confident, and we just did our thing.
Ricky, take me through the slug. You ran that same route against U of A last year. What did you see on this route?
Yeah, so I mean, his main coverage, so I knew that he stuck in. He was a little bit inside shade, so I knew if I just kind of gave away my slant a little bit more, so he bit on it, and then I'll just go out and perform the play and go catch the ball. But we went over that a lot in practice, so we talked about it a lot in the game plan that it was going to, and then we got the look that we wanted, and we just went out there and executed.
So the blocking's come together really nicely for you on a couple screens, but you've also contributed heavily in blocking for the run game. What do you attribute this receiving corps' blocking success to in particular?
I mean, for us, in practice, we emphasize it a lot. Blocking. I mean, as a receiver, you don't really think of blocking that much. You just think of catching the ball a lot. So, I mean, we want to be a different receiver corps than everybody else in the country. So we take pride in blocking. So we're just going to go out there and we're proud of that too as well.
What did Herman tell you after the game?
I mean, he was proud of us, but he also said that we need to think about the next game going forward. You know what I mean? Enjoy this moment right now, but we got to get back to work.
All right, thanks, Ricky.
All right, thank you guys.
Coach is coming in. Is the mic okay for everybody?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks.
Question for Coach? Questions?
Coach, coming to this, iconic stadium, playing a ranked team, is there any added emphasis on sort of managing emotions when you're coaching this team this week?
Well, managing emotions is a great question. In fact, we've got about 46 guys on the football team in California. Last time we showed up in this place, it wasn't a good outcome for us. I thought our emotions got a little bit best of us. We talked about that all this week, about trying to keep ourselves calm and let coming back home, that influence you, and treat it like a business trip. The hotel, I think the guys were dialed in, meetings they were dialed in all week long. The opponent we were playing is a very good football team. And I give them credit, I give our staff credit for getting these guys prepared. And now we got a short week. We can't celebrate too long. The team in Stanford just beat Oregon. So we have to get ready to prepare all of a sudden next week. Early week, we play on Friday.
Coach, you've talked a lot about the ceiling of this offense, specifically the passing game over the last month. Do you think we saw a glimpse of that tonight, what it really can be?
Well, we hit some big explosion plays in the pass game. Exactly. We talked about putting in the game plan this week. I told him a little bit about Porter, that he can run. And get him involved. It's nice to see him get involved. Down the field. How to use him. And Zach, as any good coach, says, yeah, coach, I didn't know the first series, you threw it to him. I didn't even do it that early. But it was good, and I thought that got us going, got Jaden going. And Jaden had to make some checks at the line. We got a certain look, felt like we could throw the ball down the field. Jaden did a nice job of reading the defense and then throwing the ball.
What does it say about Eric Gentry that he can make a play like that on fourth down in a moment like that?
Oh, his athleticism. He's a freshman. A bunch of them in there at the end there. That's kind of interesting. We were running out of good bodies all of a sudden, but he's a unique player. He really is. When you look at him, you think he's a basketball player. He's a tough guy. I know that because he's Philadelphia. He was in that city for 10 years. He's a unique player, smart, very athletic. He's just going to get better this time. Got to get some weight on him.
Coach, what's it mean to you to be in the driver's seat at this stage of the season?
Well, it's a week-to-week situation in the Pac-12. We all know that, and that's how it works in our conference. It just seems like, I told you guys this since I first got here. You never know what's going to happen. You just see it. You think, oh, and then somebody loses, right? And I just think every week, and that's how we approach it. Come get in the conference games. Players can enjoy it. It's basically a relief for coaches that we won another conference game, one more on the road, which is important. And now we got a bigger one coming at home against a good team in Stanford.
Coach, what about the way your team was able to respond tonight? I mean, there were some costly mistakes at times where some teams can go one way and your team chose to respond and battle with UCLA, especially in that first half and coming out in the second?
Yeah, well, we know how to put ourselves in a deficit at times. We figured that out. We know how to do all that. It wasn't bad. We only had 6 of them, but they were big ones. 3 points before the half because we misplay a ball. And young player wanted to make a play. That's the learning moment you got to teach guys about. It didn't come back to get us, but I thought our team was resilient. It just didn't flinch when things like that happened, and they just played through it. And they had a mindset of there's going to be some things happening, and I told them in the game, I said everything's not going to be pretty. There's going to be some negative plays, but how we handle those negative plays are very important. And I thought for the most part, I felt energy on our sideline the whole time. It never varied. It was funny because we go in at halftime, and I looked at it before we went out. I said, guys, we're still winning. I get us a point, but we're still in the lead. I said, so this. And then the offense came alive, and I thought the defense, AP and those guys did a great job second half to shut these guys down. And that's good defense.
Coach, is it all special to beat Chip Kelly, given that you've got similar backgrounds in NFL and all that?
Well, I don't know that. I know Chip from a long time. He's a fabulous football coach. And anytime you can win a road league, it's a Pac-12 opponent. That's good stuff. It's hard, man. It's hard. This conference is hard, which it is. 9 games you play against opponents, whether they're the South or the North. It is tough. You see it every week. It happens. Right? We're fortunate so far. We've won 2.
Coach, on the subject of responding, the team seems to be starting to minimize the penalties, but what was happening with the substitution penalties? Yeah,
I don't know. One time we had 12, one time we had 13. I thought we were in Canada. Because I've been almost in every league, but I haven't been in Canada. I know they played with 12. Yeah, we got young guys, special teams. That's just guys not knowing, or not speaking when they're coming in and takes, when you go in and take somebody out, it's good. I'm gonna take you out. It's good. I say, I got you. Don't just run in there. Don't tell the guy. You tell the guy. Go out. So we'll get it figured out.
But do you feel better about where the team's at in terms of the penalties than you did a few
weeks ago?
Yeah,
speaking of penalties, it's kind of ironic. Pac-12 leads all conferences as being the most penalized conference in football. So we gotta fix it.
Coach, congrats on the win first off. What did you think of Jaden's performance? You mentioned him making checks at the line of scrimmage. What did you think of his performance?
I think every week he's getting more familiar with the offense. Remember, he only played 4 games in it last year. This is what? He played 9 games. So I think he's getting more familiar with Zach. Zach getting comfortable with Jaden. Jaden getting comfortable with the receivers. It's a process, but he did a great job. His grandpa died yesterday. And coming into this, he was a little emotional. I hugged him in the locker room and told him his spirit is in the stadium. The spirit is here looking at you, watching you. Just understand it. I thought he went out and really played good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.